So you love podcasts, and you want to listen to more amazing content, but you have no idea what to listen to. And your friends keep telling you about great episodes, yet you can never remember what they told you. Well, here's the answer. Good Pods. It's the social app dedicated to podcasts, where your friends, podcast listeners, and favorite podcast hosts all come together to share on their feeds what they recommend and what they listen to. You can connect to others, bookmark episodes, start a conversation about the episode, connect to the hosts, and most importantly, listen to great podcasts right in the Good Pods app. Download Good Pods wherever you get your apps and start sharing with a community that loves to listen. Good Pods. It's where to connect and listen.
Think big, think positive, never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem. Nothing you have ever witnessed will prepare you for the absolute carnage you're about to witness. It's Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Longtime listener and a huge fan.
Lou, I am tremendous.
And the more I'm plugged from technology and people, the more I can serve people with technology.
What you're standing for with connection, I think it's the key to everything.
You're just an amazing breath of fresh air for sure. Lou, you're a diamond in the rough, my man.
Because for me, if I'm not living high energy, I'm surviving and I want to be thriving.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the Senior Vice President and GM for NCR's Global Professional Service Organization. She's a seasoned leader focused on building and leading global, technical, go-to-market organizations with the goal of delivering differentiated, best-in-class customer experience. Thrive Loud listeners, Mithu Bhargava. Mithu, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Lou.
Truly a pleasure. To kick things off, Mithu, can you share with the listeners your primary responsibilities at NCR?
Absolutely. So I have the honor of leading NCR's Professional Services organization. So think of professional services as the primary customer-facing technology arm of NCR that works with our customers every single day to bring our software solutions to life. As the company evolves from being a hardware to a software-led company, it is the professional services people on the front lines who work every day with our customers on integrating solutions, bringing new consulting capabilities to life, and in situations like we're in right now, navigating through a COVID crisis and bringing their customer-centric innovation and making it real.
I want to tap into, we're recording this right now in early December of 2020. Just recently, NCR had an investor day, which was a huge success and a testament to the fact that NCR's transformation is textbook for how it's done. Can you talk a little bit more about what's been going on recently at NCR and how you've all been able to adapt in this pretty unique environment we're all in right now?
Absolutely. So, Lou, we recently had our Investor Day early December, and we couldn't have been more pleased with the response that we've received. If you've been tracking NCR, May 2018, actually May 1st, 2018 is when our new CEO came on board. And I joined the very same day. That's why I remember it. Since then, it's been, we both started the same day. It was part of a larger leadership turnaround that we had. And part of this whole process was how do we take a fundamentally hardware perceived company and shift it to a software and services-led company to become the provider of choice to run the store, the restaurant, or the self-service bank. So, as we work through this transformation as a company, what we very quickly realized is it's not just the technology transformation. To become that trusted partner of choice, you truly have to have your customers believe in you, right? It started with how do we change our approach to our customers? Our company mantra is treat every customer like your only customer. So when Mike Hayford came on board, one of the biggest changes he made is Every single employee at NCR is compensated on our customer satisfaction scores, truly embedding that customer centricity into the DNA of our company. We've been undergoing a huge talent transformation, hiring different talent, the best talent that exists out there in the industry to work with our customers, building out a whole new portfolio of offerings, right? Think of it as a very distinct end-to-end set of offers. We put forth a company strategy. We said 80-60-20, 80% of our revenue would shift to software and services, 60% of it would be recurring, and 20% EBITDA improvements. But what was more important is we actually put an execution plan in place. So fast forward 2.5 years later, with Investor Day, we actually exposed a lot of these results to our customers, right? And our investors were very impressed to see not just the improvement in customer satisfaction scores, but the level of transparency that we shared around the business, right? We broke down our digital banking business for them, ATM as a service. And we actually shared real customer testimonials validating what we're doing. So I'll say, Lou, we have a long ways to go in terms of where we want to get to. We're going to continue to execute. But we've been really, really pleased with the transformation results to date and the way our investors are reacting to that.
Mithu, and thank you for sharing that. I want to dive in deeper into this because this is actually really interesting for those when they think of NCR, they think a lot of the hardware components of what you do, from the electronic screens to restaurant reservation hardware that you see in person. I'm thinking about this shift that you're making from the hardware to software and how you were a critical hire of the organization to help really lead this initiative. Can you share some of the progress you've made here specifically? Because I think that's where the investors are all getting excited about, because it really shows some amplified growth and economies of scale of how you're going to take NCR to the next level.
Absolutely. And I think, I'd give the credit to the entire team. I'll say two things. One is we're thinking of NCR as a service. It doesn't matter if you're buying hardware, software, services from NCR. The way you should think of NCR is your end-to-end partner to run your store, to run your restaurant, to run your self-directed bank. And what that means is the way we contract with you, the way our offers are packaged, it's hardware, software, everything in an as-a-service model, which is a huge shift and something that's being very well received by our customers. Now, the second thing I'll say is, I think our technology is awesome. I think our industry expertise is awesome. Our customers come to us for our technology, for our industry expertise, but they really come to us for our people, right? And I think if I look at the huge transformation that we've made, especially in the light of COVID, right? To truly position ourselves differently, it's been really, really heartwarming. So I'll give you examples in terms of what we've done in a COVID environment. So we saw that as COVID hit, every business out there was being forced to transform, right? Our customers were being forced to transform. One of the things that I feel really strongly about is professional services being that engine for customer-driven innovation. Well, now was a time where every one of our customers was coming to us. So the number of banks we had, from small credit unions in the US to the large banks to a bank in Philippines to Mexico, where everyone said, help us create contactless ATM operations, help us redesign our branch operations so that rather than having live tellers, remote tellers provide the same experience to our customers. How do we integrate our digital and our digital mobile and our physical bank presence? And we innovated, and we actually were able to get these banks to adapt to a COVID world, right? In the retail space, a big part of our customer base are the grocers, right? And a lot of these new trends that we see as the norm now, curbside pickup, in-store pickup, delivery, right? All came to light during COVID. Now, bring that back to an individual retailer, they have to change their processes. How do they actually enable that to happen, right? When you think about self-checkout, how do you make self-checkout a touchless experience? How do you actually use NCR's self-checkout services to have optimized store operations with minimized interventions, no teller assistance required, right? All of these were per customer solutions that we were able to drive to get them up and running. There were instances, Lou, where we had our technical project managers on site with customers, helping with store inventory and placing, stocking the shelves, because that's what you do, right? It's a customer first mindset. And then I'll give you examples in the restaurant space. We've actually helped a number of small businesses come online. We've had 600 plus customers come online on our Aloha platform, but we've also really driven some innovation. One of the largest restaurant chains here in the United States and now global came to us and said, hey, we need to have a separate digital order make line so that the digital orders that come in can actually be fulfilled. But we can't add any more kitchen space. We can't add any more floor space. So using our software and our innovation, we created a different, separate make line for digital orders. And we're able to increase their order accuracy by 99%, reduce wait times significantly. So you can hear me. I can go on and on. I share a lot of excitement here, but you get the sense of how we're transforming in line with our customers.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And I have a good question for you as you're leading this initiative, because you're bringing a really great point. You're bringing great technology and having to balance that right level of humanity. And you mentioned what's going on with COVID, and I want to overlap these two together because you made something really interesting. The grocers, who are thriving, by the way, because there's just so much business going on, is one side of the business, and you're helping them to deal with that technology issue and also how to balance that side of what's going on in crisis. But then let's flip to the other side, which is to your point about the hospitality and the restaurants, which are going through incredible struggles right now and challenges. As a leader of this group and having to literally see two ends of the spectrum, how are you balancing that aspect as a leader for this group for NCR? And how is NCR approaching it? Because it is so challenging. One, doing so well and figuring out how to handle their technology, and the other, trying to figure out how to survive.
It's a really good question, Lou. And I think, the way I look at it is, if you have the mindset that our founder put forth, which is treat every customer like your only customer. It doesn't matter whether it is a thriving large customer or it is a struggling small and medium business trying to survive, right? And that's the mindset that we're trying to ingrain across our team. So while we're here to support every thriving business with new innovation, we're doing the same to every business that's struggling, right? We've worked with Nimbus, as you might have heard from my colleague Dirk, on really how does the PPP program apply to restaurants? How do we make it easier for them? As a professional services business, as we work to get small restaurants online, right? Give them a presence, give them a way to actually keep their restaurant alive. We've also worked on a number of other related packages. How do we actually help you differentiate? How do we make online ordering easy? And really targeted them at the small and medium businesses. So this was a very deliberate top-down effort where we said, how do we actually help all businesses, whether thriving or struggling? And how do we have equal service offers to all, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's been really, really our approach through this whole pandemic. And, just fundamentally the belief of do the right thing and good things happen has kept us grounded.
It's really interesting, Mithu. A lot of companies will say maybe that, all our customers, are important to us, but you guys may be living and breathing this, because size of business today is probably less relevant today than ever, because you're helping the small businesses and the small shops, if you would, and the large. Do you feel that is something that's pervasive throughout NCR and the team that you're leading and helping them really understand that scope? Because that's something that I think is maybe making you guys stand out a little bit more than your competitors.
Absolutely, Lou. In fact, if you look at most of our, I'll take a step back. We've got a really good presence in the enterprise space. If you look at just industry presence, footprint, and reach, we're the number one POS software provider in retail around the globe, number one on self-checkout, number one on ATM full service machines. But our focus, where we've looked at our investments as a company as we build new products, has largely been not just in the enterprise space, but starting with the small, medium business segment, right? So to us, it's everyone says every customer is important. I think the proof is in the approach and the investment that you have and the way you actually treat your customers across size, scale, and scope. And that's been an area of focus for us throughout, and an area that we're going to continue to double down on.
Mithu, I want to pull the curtain back a little bit here. The company is thriving right now, is really adapting, making this move from that hardware shift to software. Since you've been there since 2018, a lot of great shifts have happened and you've been thriving. But like every leader or company that's out there, we all have days when we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. I want to ask you personally, Mithu, when you have trouble thriving, who or what practice do you seek to get yourself back on the thriving track?
An interesting question. And I think we've all faced this over the last 6 months more than ever before, right? We've had more of those days. So for me, Lou, my big learning was I draw my inspiration, my energy, my optimism, my ability to lead from the people around me, right? So what I've been doing as a best practice, even more so during the pandemic, is connecting out and reaching to customers and team members around the globe, right? So my organization is in 55 countries today. Lots of wonderful, talented people around the globe. Going back to silver lining at a time like this, you don't no longer have to travel to Israel or travel to Japan to speak to someone or meet with someone. Everyone's a Zoom call away, right? And as a best practice, I spend about 2, 3, 4 hours a week just talking to people around the globe and seeing the way that they're continue to go on every day with the uncertainty of health, family, all the challenges that we all deal with. But yet are so focused on their job, talking about customers, helping them, just keeps me going. So that's my secret sauce.
Secret sauce is talking to the internal people and the clients. I like that. I love to talk too, as you know. That's why I host a podcast show. It keeps me going. So Mithu, I want to ask this question, if you could. Can you share with the listeners, maybe as we're leaning into 2021 and the bright light is hopefully somewhere at the end of the tunnel with our virus, what are some of the goals and things that you're looking forward to, or things you can share with the listeners? We'll provide all the links in the show notes for you and NCR, but things you're looking forward to that NCR is bringing to the world in 2021 that you're excited about.
Absolutely. So look, I think we've been really transparent. We set a strategy in place 2 years ago. We executed through that strategy, but we've got a long road ahead. So I think you're going to continue to see a lot more from NCR in our transformation to NCR as a service. If you go to our website, ncr.com, you will see very targeted offerings to the 3 industries we serve: restaurants, retail, and banking. And you're going to see a huge shift in terms of leveraging our industry expertise, the knowledge that we have that honestly is incomparable in the industry, and turning more and more of that into advisory differentiated offers that supplement our solutions. So I can't speak to a shift in strategy or anything different than what you've heard from Mike, but what I will see is we're very confident of our strategy, and you'll see us continuing to march forward.
Last thing, Mithu, this is something a lot of people do at the beginning of every year, is they kind of pick a word for themselves for the year as a goal, a term that maybe they could always look to as almost an inspirational one word that keeps their focus. Does Mithu Bhargava have one of those set up yet for 2021?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think my goal, my word is going to be overachieve.
Ooh,
I think 2020 was resilience. 2021 is going to be overachieve.
I like it. And a hyphenated word at that, which is good.
There you go.
Mithu Bhargava, a pleasure to have you on Thrive Loud. Continued success for you and NCR. It sounds like you guys are not only on the right track, but you're helping others get on the right track too. And I hope you're proud of that with what you're doing with you and your team.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure having been on, Lou. Thank you for having me. And it's an honor to be part of NCR and serve our customers. So appreciate that.
You got it. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.